Thanks for joining us on the news, everyone. I am Nifemi Oguntoye. 14.8 million kilograms. That's the quantity of illicit drugs seized by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency in the last 5 years. Chairman and CEO, NDLEA, retired Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Marwa, confirmed that 14,225 drug offenders were prosecuted and convicted within that period. Senior reporter Celestina Area has more.
Health crisis, with the World Health Organization estimating that over 207 million people used illicit drugs in 2020. Nigeria's position as a transit hub for international drug trafficking, particularly between Latin America, Asia and Europe, worsened its challenges. The UNODC reports that West Africa accounts for 87% of global pharmaceutical opium seizures, with Nigeria playing a central role due to porous borders and corruption. 8 years after the UNODC report, Nigeria has made significant gains in the fight against illicit drugs. Chairman of the NDLEA highlighted the gains of the agency since he assumed office. The agency has arrested 77,792 drug offenders, including 128 drug barons. The agency seized 14,847,000 kilograms of assorted illicit drugs and also secured 14,225 convictions, while it rehabilitated 32,442 drug users.
We finally arrested, as you all know, a fugitive drug baron who masterminded the killing of 3 of our personnel, of our brave personnel, 12 years ago. Similarly, another fugitive who committed drug crimes in South Korea was arrested, tried, convicted, and served a jail term in South Korea, deported back to Nigeria, and went right back to the habit, in fact, strengthening it across other South African nations. We finally arrested him, and his trial is ongoing.
166 officers and personnel across all formations who made this possible by putting in extra efforts were recognized and awarded.
The resilience, courage, and professionalism of our personnel who have continued to deliver results despite operational risks and challenges. Your sacrifices have directly contributed to the measurable outcomes recorded by the agency.
Assistant Commander of Narcotics, Ahmed Keita, serves at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport Strategic Command. He has been in the agency for 28 years and is one of the awardees.
There are so many seizures of narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances we have made over the years. The recent one was the seizure of 17.9 kg, which I am the OC, and with my officers we made the seizure of cocaine destined to United Kingdom. And that what, by the grace of God, His Excellency, the Chairman, Chief Executive, found us worthy for an award and commendation, which we have just received now.
It's making us work day to day and, giving us the grace to make our rest and work hard.
An NDLEA is a job that before you join the job, you should have the ambition. You should have at least the zeal. It's not coming to NDLEA for what you get, but the passion for the job.
The chairman of the NDLEA says he will engage all commanders and unit heads of the agency in a meeting where he will lay before them his expectations for the next 5 years and how they can be met, with the aim of making Nigeria a drug-free nation. Celestina Area, TVC News, Abuja.
Let's bring in anti-drug ambassador and president of SILAC Initiative, Sonny Rapo, for more on this conversation. Mr. Rapo, thanks for joining us on the news this hour. From your work on the ground, what do these NDLEA figures really tell us about drug use in Nigerian communities? Are we seeing deterrence or simply better enforcement without enough prevention?
Thank you so much for having me. Let me first and foremost congratulate the NDLEA chairman for his reappointment by the president. This is the first time I'm making my public statement to him. it shows that the president has also seen the good work he's doing, and he has been committed to him to drive the process very vehemently, to arrest the issue of drugs. Now, coming to what the question you've asked me, if the figures tally with what we've seen, yeah, I must commend the NDLEA chairman for the tenacity, what I call the definitiveness of his fight against drugs. And when the first appointment, the first tenure, we called upon him to take the fight to the Nigerian people. And that is what he has exemplified so far. And these figures are not just encouraging, it's a figure that gladdens people like us, that our work is getting the needed results. So for me, I think what the NDLEA chairman is doing is commendable so far.
While NDLEA is reporting treating and rehabilitation of over 30,000 drug users, there are still gaps that we see exist in community-based rehabilitation, reintegration, and mental health support, especially for young people. Who is to fill that gap?
You are not far from the truth. There is a gap, actually, which we are also emphasizing in our public sensitization and awareness creation, letting the public to know, particularly the authorities to know, that the fight should be more people centric. They should look into the lives of young people that are being affected by this drug. And without that, without looking into the people, we won't be able to get we won't be able to reorientate or get their mindset ready for national development. So the individuals that are supposed to work in hand with people like us, it is the part of the government. The government have a role to play in ensuring that those who are affected by the drug pandemic or issue are given the right rehabilitation and treatment. For example, the NDLEA is just making proposal for 6 rehabilitation centers to be created in the 6 geopolitical zone. And I think 2 of them are currently being worked upon. That simply tells us that we don't even have where these young minds we go, to get solutions for their problems. Because rehabilitation, as we are saying, is very, very important in the fight against drug, because that is what is going to help us to reorientate and also bring out the best in these young minds. So we need more rehabilitation, and it is the responsibility of the federal government of Nigeria to make adequate provision in terms of funding to the NDLEA so that they will be able to extend this benevolence across the geopolitical zones of the country. As we
Indeed.
speak, we don't have a rehabilitation center that can cater for the numbers of people that are out there, because we need these young minds to contribute to the growth and development of Nigeria. And if we cannot secure them by simply looking after them, caring for them, and also telling them that there should be hope for them irrespective of the challenges they face, and our work will not be complete. So I think it is the responsibility of the federal government of Nigeria to provide the adequate resources needed to fight this menace, and to provide for those who are suffering out there, who are suffering from drug use issues as far as the drug war is concerned. So I believe, very frankly, it is the responsibility of the federal government. On the other hand, we also look at corporate organizations, we look at international donors and organizations that can also come in, to also play their role to ensure that we secure the lives of young people from
Indeed.
this.
Quickly, let us touch on Nigeria still remaining a major transit hub for these illicit drugs. From an advocacy perspective, what are the things you think must change beyond the number of arrests? 14.8 million kilograms are seized in 5 years. On one hand, it sounds good, but it's also an indictment on how these drugs found their way into Nigeria in the first place. What is a more sustainable approach, in dealing with these drug networks?
I must tell you very frankly that the war of drugs is global now as we speak, and you can see the effort the President of the United States of America, Donald Trump, is also putting in the fight against drug abuse globally. And if we don't tighten our belts strongly, we are going to be the receiving end in the sense that we have porous border. All right, so the drug traffickers are being chased from developed society. Their attention is shifted to Africa, particularly Nigeria, who have the demograph, the young people and the targeted population. So we are saying that the need for we to drag this process and get results, especially as drug trafficking is increasing, is one to increase the drug demand reduction strategy. The drug demand reduction strategy, like as we said, is all about people centric. This is going to the end user. Right? If the drug traffickers the drugs into the country and the individual know the consequences of those drugs and their effects particularly. They will say no to those kind of to get drugs that will damage their head. So we need to intensify in our approach, in fighting the drugs, taking the campaign to the people because it's all about the people. And if you take out the people from the fight, there
All
is
right.
something that you are going to be getting. You're
Indeed.
going to be occupied with rhetoric. So
Okay.
we are telling the government, we are telling NDLEA that they should also shift their base so that they can focus on the people. And when we focus on the people, we are able to get results. Look at
Indeed.
the local employee young people. The government will provide adequate resources.
I hear you, Mr. Rapo. It's a good place to leave it. Anti-drug ambassador and President SILAC initiatives, Sonny Rapo, thank you so much for talking to us on the news this hour.
Thank you for having me.
Still ahead.